Hello everyone and welcome back to Zenphi Unlocked. I'm Fernanda from the Customer Success team and thank you for joining us for September 2025 edition. This month we are thrilled to roll out features that focus on next generation AI assistants and deeper real-time integrations with the tools you use every single day. Today we'll be diving into 3 powerful new features, all of which are available to our existing customers regardless of your current plan. First, we'll explore the new Zenphi AI assistant, Zaya, which is now integrated directly into the Flow Designer. Second, the highly requested Google Calendar trigger, also available to all Zenphi users, as well as a new SharePoint list trigger. First up is a game changer for building automations, the Zenphi AI assistant, or Zaya, which is now available right inside the Flow Designer. You can now generate a complete Zenphi flow simply by describing your use case in plain English. Zaya processes your requests, asks clarifying questions if needed, and then builds the flow for you within the Flow Designer. It's the fastest and most intuitive way to bring your automation ideas to life. Let me show you how amazing and easy it is to use this new feature. From the Flow Designer, you can open the Zaya chat panel by clicking on the Zaya button here. Let's build a common business process. I'll just type in create a flow that extracts the invoice number, total, and supplier from an invoice that arrives via email. Zaya processes this request and in a few moments builds the complete flow for me with the right trigger and actions ready in place. Simply set up your connections, update any vaults, or anything else the flow may use. Once you're finished, import the flow. It even provides a description of what was created and if any follow-up modifications are required. But it doesn't stop there. Zaya can also modify existing flows. So let's say I want to add a step to save the invoice to Google Drive. I could just ask and it would intelligently update the flow for me. It maintains a continuous understanding of your workflow, making iteration incredibly fast. Zaya is also able to explain your existing flow logic and answer questions related to Zenphi, working as a complete flow building assistant. As we can see here, it said the next step wasn't defined. You could save the extracted invoice to a spreadsheet, an accounting system, send a notification. So we'll ask it to be able to save it to Google Drive. It may ask some clarifying questions. And if we look at our Flow Designer now, we have the extra step to be able to save the invoice to Drive. And it even gave a description of the changes that were done. Next up, we have a brand new trigger that has been highly requested and will allow you to be able to kick off flows in real time based on your schedule, the Google Calendar trigger. This trigger initiates a flow immediately in response to changes in a Google Calendar, whether that is adding an event, updating, or deleting. You're able to configure what to watch for, allowing for instant reaction to changes in your day. Let's walk through a powerful use case. Imagine your sales team schedules new client demos on a specific calendar and you want to kick off a preparation workflow automatically. In Zenphi, I'll start a new flow with the Google Calendar trigger, making sure I set the condition to trigger when an event is added. Next, I'll add a specific condition. That way it can start the flow only if the event's description contains the word demo, ensuring that only demo meetings are taken into account for this flow. If it does contain the word demo, the flow will then perform a series of subsequent steps. For example, adding the Customer Success Manager to the call by using the Add Attendees action. We can also notify the Customer Success team via Google Chat, for example, using our Post Message action. You can post to a space or send a direct message. Simultaneously, we can also create a task that can be assigned to the Customer Success Manager. They would receive this task after the meeting concludes, which we could use to be able to include information like responding to the meeting outcome or qualifying the customer. In this case, we have a couple of questions. If they did complete the meeting, they can qualify the prospect, if they have a valid use case, if they have budget, etc. This ensures that every time a demo is booked, the right people are notified and all prep tasks are assigned automatically with zero manual effort. And finally, we're expanding our existing Microsoft integrations with the new SharePoint list trigger. The trigger automatically invokes a flow whenever a change occurs in a specific SharePoint list. You can configure it to listen for when an item is added, updated, or even deleted, making it easy to automate your list-based business processes. Let's say you use a SharePoint list to manage documents that require approval. I'll configure a SharePoint list trigger and set it to fire whenever an item is added. Here you're able to select the site ID as well as the list ID that you wish to view. A great feature here is that you can specify which columns you want to receive in the output of the trigger. This is really efficient as it means you only retrieve the data you need. Once the trigger is set, I can connect it to an assigned task action, which will automatically route the information to the corresponding department. When a new file is added to the list, the entire approval process kicks off instantly without any manual work. So here we're able to set up our task. We can add the information from the SharePoint list, for example, the name of the document URL, which comes from our trigger, and then depending on if they approved or not, we can obviously update the document status and review date accordingly. Alright, let's do a quick recap of all of these powerful new features available to all of our users. We have Zenphi's AI Assistant, which is going to help you build and modify automations faster than ever by describing your needs in plain English. We then have the Google Calendar trigger, which is going to enable you to build real-time workflows that react instantly to events being created, updated, or deleted within your Google Calendar, available to all of our users. And lastly, we have the SharePoint list trigger, which is going to allow you to automate critical business processes by triggering flows from changes in SharePoint list items, available to all of our users as well. What's next? We would love for you to try out these powerful new features. When you do, please share your experience and what you're building on our community website at www.zenphicommunity.com. Your feedback is what helps us continue to improve, and of course, if you want to discuss how these features can optimize your specific workflows, please don't hesitate to reach out to your customer success manager or to our support team through the in-app chat. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next month for another episode of Zenphi Unlocked.